So this patient comes in today and he says to me, he's got 12 kids. And I thought, wow, 12 kids, that's an awful lot. Why did you decide to have 12 kids? And he said, well, my wife had a hearing problem. I said, what's that have to do with having 12 kids? He said, every night, when we would go to bed, I said, so do you want to go to sleep or what? And she would say, what? So, yeah, I was walking by the photocopier the other day and it was playing this music, and I thought, that's kind of weird. And then I looked a little closer and the paper was jamming. So anyway, we're going a little crazy right about now, right? Been dealing with this whole corona thing for quite some time. Well, the good news is they're starting to open things back up for small businesses, for economy. That's a good thing. Remember, exposure is a good thing. Exposure doesn't make you sick. Exposure actually helps you build immunity to viruses and immunity to any kind of diseases. So exposure, good. No exposure, bad. So just make sure you realize that before you go, yelling and screaming at people that, oh, this is crazy, they're opening things up, the numbers are going up. Yeah, you're going to see more cases because they're doing more testing. So more people are going to test positive. That's just part of the process. More people are going to test positive. It's going to be the same percentages. You're still going to see that 80% that's going to have little or no symptoms whatsoever, and they're going to be fine. Within 10 days, they'd be testing negative again. That 15%, they're going to be more in the moderate symptom range. Maybe in a couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, they're over it, no problem, like, flu symptoms, basically. It's that 5%, it's that small percentage, the people with the underlying comorbidities, the heart disease, the diabetes, the high blood pressure, things of that nature. They're the ones that are going to have more severe complications. So the statistics haven't changed, despite what you might be seeing on the news media. They're always trying to play on your fears and drum up some type of a story and pandemonium and hysteria. The statistics are still the same, and the science is still the same. The virus has to run its course. It has to go through. It will infect more people. More people will test positive. Best thing that we've said all along, the best thing possible, is that you've had some exposure to it. Your body has built antibodies, and you're going to be perfectly fine. Some of these things are pretty crazy that you're hearing on the news, and they come out with these stories. We can't believe it. It's people are testing positive and they have no symptoms whatsoever. We've never seen anything like this before. Yeah, we have. We just don't test for every virus. If they tested you for flu viruses, there's over 1,000 strains of flu virus. But if they came out with tests for 1,000 different strains of flu virus and they tested people, there would be all kinds of people who would test positive for different strains of flu virus because they've been exposed. There are all kinds of people who would test positive for the antibodies for all different types of flu virus because they've been exposed. The thing is, we just don't test for those things, so it doesn't make the news and it doesn't make hysteria. It doesn't make headlines. It doesn't make stories. So some of these things that are kind of crazy that I'm hearing. I watched the press conference last couple weeks, and they came out in this government study. We found that exposure to sunlight kills the virus. It's like, yeah, no kidding. We've known that for hundreds of years, that getting outside in the sunshine, vitamin D, exposure to ultraviolet rays. I can remember being a lifeguard as a kid. We would hose down the mats, by the pool side, and we would hang them over the fence because the ultraviolet light actually helped to disinfect any bacteria that would have, antimicrobial properties. People that have acne, they go out in the sun and the sun dries up the acne. I mean, these are things, they have ultraviolet treatments now for skin conditions and things. So we know that UV light is antimicrobial. We know that sunlight is how you get vitamin D, and that's how your body utilizes vitamin D and helps boost your immune system. So, you're seeing studies now, vitamin D helps, people, we're seeing a correlation with people that are getting sick. They have low vitamin D D levels. Like, yeah, so what do? Do you go out and take more vitamin D? You can take a liquid vitamin D sample, or you can get sunlight exposure, as opposed to what the government's been telling you, and all these other people have been telling you, stay inside, this is bad. It's like, no, again, get outside, get some fresh air, get some sunshine, good for your immune system, get some of that exposure. So another crazy thing I heard a week or so ago, I was listening to this show where they were talking about some medical doctor did some type of study, and she was recommending that if you're jogging, that you wear a mask, because if there's somebody jogging in front of you, you can get in their breath cloud. Yeah, breath cloud. Breath cloud. What the heck is a breath cloud? I've been in some breath clouds before, and trust me, the last thing I was thinking about was coronavirus. I was thinking, get me out of here. Some of those people, you can see their breath even in warm weather. You know what I'm talking about? So, that's a breath cloud, But anyway, jogging with a mask on, because you're getting somebody's breath cloud and you can breathe in their breath and breathe in the virus. I mean, these people actually have real degrees, which scares me. So, there's some crazy things going on out there, some crazy things happening. Now they're starting to open things up. The news media is going to have a field day, because you're going to see numbers increase where they're testing in areas. Now they have some antibody tests available, but they're testing more people, wide range, broad range. So you're definitely going to see more cases pop up. But again, as far as the deaths go, you're going to see that same demographic of people that are going to be in the mortality rate. We know enough about this so far. We've kind of seen the pattern of how it tends to infect people. Anybody is susceptible to it if you have, a suppression of your immune system, even temporarily. Not everybody gets a cold every day. Not everybody gets a flu every day. But, you're still susceptible to it. Occasionally your immune system dips down, you're not getting enough sleep, you're getting stressed out, you're running around, you're not eating properly, and next thing you know, your immune system dips down, you're more susceptible to a cold virus, a flu virus. But just remember, it's the numbers don't lie, figures don't lie, liars figure. Statistically, when you look at, I look at these statistics all the time, and 15,000 people a year die in the United States from cold viruses. What we call an upper respiratory infection is called the common cold. Upper respiratory infection, a URI or URTI, upper respiratory tract infection. A lot of people come and say, oh, I have an upper respiratory tract infection. Yeah, you got a cold. But 15,000 people a year will die from that. Who dies from a common cold? Not a strong, healthy individual, right? The same demographic, those same people with those underlying comorbidities. So those people may die from a cold virus, those people may die from a flu virus, those people may die from pneumonia. Remember, pneumonia takes out 50% of the people that it infects. Who is it infecting? Those severely immunocompromised, immunosuppressed people with upper respiratory compromise, severe asthma, COPD, some type of, severe breathing obstruction. So again, what do we want to do? You look at all the news media, all the stories, all the headlines, all the experts. They're all telling you how you can run and hide. How can I run and hide? What can I do? How can I avoid this? What kind of mask can I buy? What kind of gloves do I have to wear? They all talk about the same thing. What you can do to run and hide from. You cannot run. You cannot hide. The virus will find you. You're not going to be able to run and hide. It's just that simple. So what do you have to do? You have to boost up your immune system. All the things we've been talking about all along. All the things that we've been talking about, getting the fresh air, the sunshine, eating your fruits and vegetables. I like the greens, more greens, get the B vitamins in your body. If you want to supplement those B vitamins, the vitamin C, the zinc, get that stuff into your system. Stuff that we're supposed to be getting through our diet, but we're just not getting in the diet. So maybe we do have to supplement a little bit. So anyway, just wanted to touch base with you guys. Haven't talked to you in a little bit. Just want to make sure that everybody's doing okay, everybody's healthy. We're getting busier and busier again. People are starting to file back into the office here. So we haven't missed one day. We've been seeing patients all along, and the majority of our patients understand the importance of continuing to get your chiropractic adjustments, because it really boosts up the immune system and keeps your body healthy and working properly. So most of our patients understand that. They've been getting adjusted all along. We've been seeing people and keeping people healthy. I don't know anybody personally who's gotten coronavirus. Our daughter works in the emergency room right on the front lines in one of the local hospitals. You know, she's had one mask through the whole thing. We've been buying her cans of Lysol to take to her because she's been working. She sees 12 patients at a time, overworked, underpaid, and just being bombarded. But thank God she's been healthy through the whole thing. So again, she's been exposed to this over and over and over again, and that just goes to show you. The other thing, as far as Florida goes, we're starting to open up our beaches here, and heard, you know, a little bit of kickback against you know, the opening the beaches. Oh, that's not a good thing. It's Brevard County, Cocoa Beach. They didn't close their beaches through the whole coronavirus situation. Didn't close their beaches at all. They had 8 deaths through the whole thing, 8 deaths in their county. So it just kind of goes to show you that you can interact socially, you can be exposed to things. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get sick, and it definitely doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to die if you do get exposed. So again, just want to make sure everybody's doing well and just check in with you. Not going to go over any of the numbers today, you know, so we just want to make sure that everybody is doing well, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, I got to go get a haircut tonight. Now that the salons and the hairdressers are open now, so I think I'll go get a haircut, you know, instead of cutting my own hair. But although this old haircut's kind of growing on me, you know what I mean? All right, have a good night.